Alright. Just going live on this one. What's up, everybody? We on here. Alright.
What's poppin'?
So, yeah, what's going on, guys? It's Dante from the White Day Podcast. Welcome, White Day Wednesday again. Got my plants in the background. You didn't see my plants? I'm stepping up a little bit. You know, y'all didn't see the plants.
Is that green thumb?
Yeah. See, I'm.
My plants.
Well,
I dig it. I dig it.
get a little. Let's get a little shot at that because I'm stepping up in the game. I got myself, Red Pill, Alpha Mug, Jatana on here. She's the only woman on here, so we'll be easy on her today.
Will we?
No, we won't.
Are we?
We won't.
Y'all just better hope I'll be easy on you.
Yeah, that's what I like it. That's what I'm thinking. Like, yeah, outnumber China. It's impossible. It don't matter.
Don't matter. Okay, well, I mean, just as the starter, we always talk about the last episode because I actually had couples. I had some couples on here. I had a 3-year relationship couple on here last week, and I had a marriage couple, like millennial type thing on here. So if you guys tune in on that, I haven't been able to post the marriage couple yet. I'm gonna put that probably on the YouTube once I do all the editing. But it was about first dates and dating etiquette. So I know, Tanya, you weren't on there the last time. So what kind of advice you want to give to the fellas or the women? First like what tips, first date tips would you give somebody? Or what's your dating etiquette? Like what is your normal standard of that?
For first dates?
Yeah, because we didn't have a lot of females' perspective on it. We hear most of the fellas, but women perspective is like, all right, we want to know.
Well, I'm a bit traditional, old school, what you would say. I would definitely say first dates, the guy is definitely the initiator. I might give him all the signals, everything he needs to know, maybe not hints. So it's like you don't have to catch a hint, but definitely he would be the one to pursue me, only because I think that when a man does the chase, he appreciates you more.
Yeah.
So I would just say like he'd be the initiator, but if you are as the female and you are that person that initiates the date, then I wouldn't expect the guy to pay because I invited him out. So it would kind of be either we would discuss it, who's going to split the check. I pay for you, you pay for me. But then like that, it becomes really casual and almost placing him in the friend zone instead of like a courting type shit.
Okay. So what about your tips that you have? Like what is like the first date tips? Like I know we all talk
first
about...
date tip. Always be yourself. 100%.
Sure? You sure about that?
Be yourself. Huh?
Some people come in there being themselves, and I mean, that's for most dudes, we typically try to sell ourselves on like, oh well, like just a first impression. Oh yeah, I'm into like doing things for like the community, but you're really not. Like it's kind of like you just. I mean, I'm not sure. Most dudes do it, but they're so afraid of that, like the rejection, whatever. Like, oh man, she's not feeling me. So. Would you rather go for the authentic version of somebody, of course, right, than someone who's just kind of faking it, trying to just please you the whole time?
I would rather want that authenticity because I'm gonna bring the same level of authenticity and I'm gonna expect that in return. I don't want you to sell yourself because me being me, I'm gonna catch on to that, and that's gonna completely turn me off. So I wouldn't want a guy around me to sound like a salesman. The term of you can't sell a salesman. You can't bullshit a salesman.
Yeah.
So you can't bullshit me. I want you to be real because I'm going to lay it out on the line. Like, this is who I am. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I like. And then we'll go from there. But I don't want to know what you can do to please me because you're basing that off of what I'm telling.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Someone comment, always played the millionaire philanthropist, cool guy, works every time.
My go-to. That's my go-to.
Negative, because if you play the millionaire philanthropist, I'm going to test those pops.
So he comes in a Lamborghini, rolls up like Bruce Wayne type deal.
Yeah, I'm gonna test those pockets. Like that's not impressive. Like that doesn't impress me. Material things don't impress me. It's nice to have. You might be on your shit, or that could be your mom's car. Who knows?
Damn, your mom balling like that? Damn, in a Lamborghini? Your mom?
I mean, I'm just saying, but if a guy is driving a Lamborghini, then I mean, his conversation, I would hope it would be different than just some regular BS. But as far as like the millionaire philanthropist of what you're saying, and especially if you're calling yourself a philanthropist, I'm gonna get in your mind, get in your head, then your pockets. Not because I'm a gold digger, because I don't want it, but I'm gonna see where your head's at. Where's your money at? Are you wealthy? What are you gonna do with it? What do you expect out of life? But that's the kind of questions that I'm gonna ask.
Okay. All right, Alpha Monk, you can kind of say your piece on it because you weren't on the last episode.
On first dates, I agree with Chitana on being authentic. I think that's like one of the best game tactics there is, because nobody is like you. You're gonna be an original if you are your authentic self, and that's gonna appease to her. Because if she's pretty, she's gonna get hit on 3-4 times a day, and everybody's gonna be doing the same thing, giving her the same kind of compliments. And if you're authentic, then you're not a people pleaser, and you're just gonna be yourself. And then as far as tips, I would say, if you are the initiator, you're the one who asked her out to the date, then obviously you should pay, but you don't need to go to an expensive place. You don't have to impress her because you haven't invested in anything. You don't know who the fuck she is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just go to like
a dollar menu.
What's up?
Dollar menu.
Yeah, I'll go to like a mom and pa's cafe or restaurant. So you can sit down and talk. It's kind of quiet, and you guys get to know each other.
Something low key.
Something low key, just to get to know each other. Second date, then you can go just do something fun, get excited. You know what I'm saying? And then so on and so forth. But as far as that, that's pretty much my tips and advice.
Because if you take a girl out, like, you don't want to take her out to a place, like, if you are able to take a girl out to a chill spot on the first date, like, as a guy, and she's cool with that, then I could see something like going further than something like superficial, taking her on a fancy date, because, I mean, you're automatically, both of you guys are going to be pressed to impress.
Well, if you have to impress with anything other than who you are, then you're not very interesting in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, well that's key. Were you on that last episode, Red Pill? I don't remember.
I was not. I wrote the
You wrote. Oh, you wrote it.
I wrote the brief, but I was stuck out of town.
So yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts, man? What kind of tips and etiquette would work for you? We got Red Pill.
Well, I can only speak for the men, right? Don't try too hard. Say less, and try and be sexy.
Try and be sexy.
That's it. I really think that's don't try too hard. Keep it low key. Keep it chill. You don't even have to tell her what you do. In fact, she's gonna think you sexier if you're still a mystery. If you have a good personality but you're a mystery, she's gonna love that. Because now she's gonna wanna. Well, I don't even know where he worked. I don't even know I gotta talk to him some more and find out. Because now I'm curious.
Do some LL Cool J.
And you'll find his social, everything private, right? That's a good one.
Do an LL Cool J.
Be sexy. When she's talking, look at her eyes, look at her lips, have a calm demeanor, have a smile, laugh. Don't be like this super stoical, and don't be overly goofy. If she puts her hand down on the table and it's more than halfway, go touch her hand. It's okay. Give her a little hand touch, a little tap. Make fun of her a little bit. Tease her a little bit, get her excited. That's honestly, that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
That makes sense. Okay, well.
Close.
Yeah.
Show some interest.
Be a mystery. That is key. Okay. I respect that. That mystery thing does kind of.
That's how I am. I mean, I'm mysterious, low key, quiet. I mean, I'm not quiet, but definitely on the more private side. It's going to take a lot for you to get into my head and know what's up.
Okay.
Oh, and I would say, off the back, that first date, you have to show sexual interest in, or you will slide in that friend zone pretty fast. You not be shy about it. You don't have to be like a dirtbag or creepy about it, but just let it flow. as natural as it comes. But you have to show that you're sexually interested, or she's just gonna think it's just some other dude, you know.
That makes sense.
So how do you do that? Like flirty, like cute flirtiness, touching of the hand.
Bring up the topic of sex.
What's up?
Say something sexual. Bring up the topic of sex, whether it's a joke or a funny story you read or some news article or something. You can make a sexual joke on a date and have it still be classy.
Easy, yeah.
Right.
Like
Yeah, but that could turn quickly for the worse, though.
Not
Like,
really. If you're at a restaurant and you're eating food, you can always bring up aphrodisiacs, and then it just goes from there.
Yeah.
You know, you can. She's getting like some wine. You can be like, "What's just, you know, what do you think wine is sex?" And then just talk about that. Get her to start talking about more and more stuff like that.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is bring it out on her. You don't really have to say too much. Anything. You just gotta talk about.
Wine's a great one. All you gotta do
but
is try
see,
the wine.
that was smooth how you said that, though.
Yeah.
Wine is sexy. Like, that was smooth. Some people aren't that smooth.
Well, that's why we're doing this chat, right?
Yeah, they might hit you with a whole thing like, this is what I like, this is what I'm gonna do to you, and leave the girl like, whoa.
Yeah, they might go overboard, but you don't have to do that. They'll bring it on their own.
Yeah, that was smooth.
You see that in the Facebook chat?
I saw that. Them, are you my date? Maybe. Puts on sunglasses.
Are you what?
So someone Gabriel comment, he's like, it said them. Are you my date? And it's a me. Maybe puts on sunglasses. Oh, I love Gabe. I love his commentary.
Okay, so on to
This
today's
episode.
topic.
Oh, buzzwords, simp and alpha. Can't say them.
Oh.
Yep.
I was
Dang
absolutely
it.
about
That one is my favorite word.
Yep. Done. Just happened.
I can remember that.
Y'all motherfuckers gonna say that shit a lot.
Dang, I might get caught up tonight.
So that's the
and I'm
buzzwords.
I'll be asking questions.
So if you guys know,
I'll hold back on my questions. I want to know.
if you guys just
You
tuning,
said-
I'm
get my
tight.
if you guys just tuning in, of course,
I need to bring out my
buzzwords,
thesaurus.
right? But this topic's gonna be called virtual signaling. It's the male version and female version of virtual signaling, which means the female version is, I'm not that type of girl. I'm not a hoe. I'm not this. I'm the good girl. Like, right? It's kind of that.
Right. Originally, they were called gamer girls, and these were girls who pretended to really be into video games, or really, really into like anime, or really into like manly things, and they didn't really care. They just wanted to be in the male space to differentiate themselves from all the girls who generally speaking, are in the women's space.
Let's explain what virtual signaling.
Anymore, because there are girls who generally enjoy video games,
Yeah.
and lumping them all together doesn't work.
Well, let's explain what's the definition of virtual signaling.
Okay, so actually, I brought it up just because I want to be as denotative as possible.
Yeah. That's usually how
Right.
you are.
That's a horrible description. Okay.
Yes, that does count.
Virtue signaling. The action or practice of publicly expressing opinions or sentiments intended to demonstrate one's good character or someone's own moral correctness. In dating, this is the person who is, I'm not like other guys. I'm not like other girls. Or they hold this really superficial, highfalutin ideal to make them seem like they're incredibly virtuous or morally superior to everyone else in their gender. And it's not true.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's the definition, guys. So if you guys, we can break it down. I guess we can go to the women side of it. Since you're the only woman here, Jatana, you have a lot to say about that as our little briefing before the episode. So, what's your thoughts on that? What do you feel? Is that true that girls usually do that? And they have this other side to them that's really not true. They kind of just, right? What is that? What is your saying? Are you that type? Or are you just knows people?
No, I'm not that
type. All right. Make sure before I don't want to offend you. So, but what's your thoughts on it?
So he was saying like girls who are in male spaces And I've seen those girls because I'm normally a girl who's in male spaces. Like,
Yeah.
I am that girl who's legitimate, a gamer, does guy sports, do all of that stuff. So I have seen those girls, even friends of mine, that have tried to be in that space and pretend that they know. But I'm the type of person, you can only fake it till you make it, but you can only fake it so long.
Mhm.
So, I mean, until the truth comes out. But as far as that girl that says, no, that's not me, or pretends like she's this girl who's only had one
Righteous.
partner,
Yeah.
or who's had 10, but she's still the virgin, you know, those types of girls, those types of girls are very tricky and they're very sneaky because they can put on a facade and generally.
Cut out.
Oh, lost.
Oh, we
Oh.
lost it. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, so the fellas, I guess, today. I was
2020.
They knew it was happening. That's why they found out.
They're like, no.
She's gonna blow this case wide open. We gotta,
I know,
FBI man was
girl,
listening.
Damn,
Her
silence.
FBI man would be a virtue signal.
They knew.
Be on blast.
They knew. Oh, she's come back on. Oh man, they put you on hold. They said, "Y'all, hold on."
Sorry about that, guys. I had a phone call come through. I was trying to deny. Sorry.
Oh damn.
Generally, as I was saying, like generally those girls that try to say like, oh, or pretend to be like she's Miss Innocent or the virgin, and it's generally when she's around other females because she feels like she has to compete with them. She could be even the prettiest girl in the room, but her self-esteem and her pride will not let her realize that, so therefore she has to pretend. Or
But why
you
is
know,
that?
and then she
Why would they want to pretend? Like, why do they need to do that?
just to feed their own ego, just to feed their own self-esteem.
Yeah.
As far as like, I want this guy to like me, or they could be the pretty girl and that's all they have to offer, and every other girl in the room has a personality.
Yeah.
Because I think it depends on age too. Because like you can always be that pretty girl in school, always get all the guys, but then you reach adulthood and other girls, she's bringing conversation, she's bringing intellect,
Yeah.
she's bringing a whole lot of things to the table besides her looks.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I've always heard
And then
women.
that girl,
I've always heard women
Go ahead.
always like talk about another girl, like, oh, she gets around, da da da, and then they end up doing the same shit, but it's like they don't want to admit that shit. So they're just like, well, you kind of hooked up with like the most biggest slut dude of them all. So like, how are you gonna tell someone like the dude literally slept with like 10 different women when you're comparing yourself to a woman that did the same thing? But like in their way, I feel like they want to justify that they're like, oh well, I'm not like her, so it's different. But yeah, they do. The
yeah,
same
it's
shit.
definitely a justification. Girls are very, very competitive.
Yeah. That's so crazy.
And it's just a competitive thing. It's almost like a ego. It's insecurity.
Yeah.
Not really understanding their worth.
Yeah.
Especially, I see this a lot with like black girls. Because growing up in like a black household, I know you're not really able to explore yourself. You know, it's a more stricter household to where you're not able to be free, and you don't talk about how many partners you've had, even though you could have fucked every dude on the football team, but no one knows.
Yeah.
So I just think, that's a lot of your upbringing, and especially within the black community, like, I need to be seen as something above that. I don't need to be seen as a hoe or a slut, but times are changing now.
Yeah, 'cause
like that's becoming the norm.
WAP
That's
is like a new thing, right?
Okay.
The Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B, that we were just talking about that. WAP, wet ass pussy. That's like key now. It's like cool to be like that way, right? I'm not sure if that we could talk about that too, but like now it's like more accepted to be that way.
We can talk about that, actually. I think it's really funny because, and this is a quick note, I don't think girls understand that they're actually weeding themselves out of the potential dating pool. Like, you attract what you put out. And if you're this person who's all about, well, I'm a city girl and I got this WAP, like, who's trying to cuff that? Like, who's trying to wipe that up? So what kind of dudes, when they're approaching you because this is the image you're putting out there, what do you think they're going to want from you? That WAP. What else do they want from you? Not jack shit else. You know? So that's one of those things you should really watch out for that. But that's kind of like...
But it's crazy because, like, if you look back, I mean, I know Megan Thee Stallion is not really a hoe. She don't come across that way.
You know her?
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't think she comes across as, like, she doesn't have a story yet that we know of.
Oh, you met her? What was she like?
I want to say that. I want to say she's not. That's my girl. That's my girl. Megan Thee Stallion. Don't talk about my Megan Thee Stallion. I want to know that she's not a hoe.
I mean, I like that, but I'm
Leave
just
me
saying,
alone.
you know her?
I want to believe that she don't get around. I just want to know. I want to believe it. let me go on my own beliefs.
That's all. You don't know what comes back to her.
I mean,
He's a baddie, but you know what I'm saying? Like Markel or like Red Pill said, you attract who you are, what you want. So what type of dude? Didn't she just get almost shot by Tory Lanez?
No, she did get shot.
Hey, but we knew he was crazy already, though.
She got shot.
But she got shot by Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
But weren't they dating?
Were they dating? I don't know. I didn't.
Were
They were
Because
like a thing or something.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay.
They was an entanglement.
They were okay. They were in an entanglement. Okay, but I mean, I really don't follow celebrity news like that.
Nor do I. I don't care.
I just think, you know, as an opinion, as a woman, I mean, you can explore yourself. You can be sexy as you want to be. You can be as beautiful as you want to be.
But,
they're not doing anything different than Lil' Kim,
Yeah.
Trina, Raw Digga,
oh, shit, City Girls.
Foxy Brown. They're not doing anything different, you know, than selling entertainment and things like that.
But
at the end of the day, Cardi has a man. Meg Thee Stallion, I mean, they're doing it for money and music.
Yeah.
Could the average girl get away with that? No.
do you think that sells though? Because being a hoe sells. Like, do you think? Oh, guys fuck with it anyway,
Sex sells, dude.
right? So it's like, so
it's been selling
What
since.
they're doing isn't virtue signaling.
I mean, I think it's somewhat a virtual signal.
It's the complete
No, it's
opposite.
not, because that's not virtuous behavior.
Yeah.
Virtue
It's the
signaling
it's
is
the
the
polar
holier than
opposite.
thou. So what we call this is erotic hypocrite. That's what we would call it, an erotic hypocrite. This is the person who projects this extreme hyper-eroticism to get attention, to get money, to get favors, and they never put out. Or when they put out, it never matches that perceived eroticism.
Yeah.
Not
The
just
prude.
but you saw the Black China sex tape.
I didn't see it.
Did you guys see the Black China sex
No,
tape?
I didn't see it.
It was horrible.
That's what you did. Okay. So look at how Black China markets herself. And has marketed herself for the past 5 years, right?
Yeah.
You expected some freaking leaky deaky shit.
I thought it was gonna be like a porno, man. I thought it was gonna be just like a porno.
I thought it was going to be right.
It was like
That's all the market.
backyard hood rat. So it's like,
And what actually happened might have been like half a step above Missionary with the lights off. Like,
Lights off too. Damn.
so what I'm saying is like,
Playing.
it's not virtue signaling, it's erotic hypocrite, being an erotic hypocrite. So they're over eroticizing themselves to sell, to get money, to get attention.
Yeah.
If that's really a thing. The other way would be wholesome pretenders, and that's the virtue signalers. Oh, that's a good term for it, for women. Wholesome pretenders. These are the women who are holier than thou, right?
So
Or they
like a
are
Taylor Swift?
kind of like a Taylor Swift. Everything they post online is either about some superior moral opinion or just how wifey they are. And that's all it
Emma
is.
Watson. Emma Watson's a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Hermione?
Yeah. She's like this ultra time feminist. Everything, anything that she has to fight about, she's on it. No matter what it is, she's just on it. But then, you know, on the behind the scenes, that she's kind of like a little bit different. So it's just like, but to be a good person, you don't have to always put it out there. But
A great example of virtue
I think a
signaling.
person who does a great example of virtue signaling and they flip flop is Miley Cyrus.
So, I don't really know much about Miley Cyrus too much.
I mean, I can see that. I can see that.
I can see the sexual hypocrite thing with her.
Right.
Y'all,
Another great example is, and I feel like, Jatana, you might have seen this talking to your friends, but I know the guys here have 100% seen this on a first date. This is like super relevant. This is the best example I can think of. You're on a first date, and this girl is basically telling you how great of a girlfriend she was to her past men and how they weren't good men.
Yeah.
She's telling you, I know what I want, and when I got a man, I'm good to him. I do this, and she's basically selling herself so hard on these 3 or 4 metrics that we generalize women, like this is what we generally want from them. You can cook, you can clean, you're nurturing, and you want kids. Another end of virtue signaling is if a single girl is always posting someone else's kids. I get it, you like babies, but what she's really trying to do is trying to flag down a guy who's not afraid to have a family.
Think so? You think so? Is that what you got from that? That's so weird. That's so crazy you think that way.
I'm just saying.
Because I think like a lot of girls. I mean, it depends if that's her.
Post this, that, the other, but if a girl's always posting,
if that's her nephew or niece or like goddaughter, you know what I'm saying, like godchild.
Oh, it's like tons of different kids. Like they just can't help it. Tons of different kids.
I don't know. That's a tough one, man. Because I see a lot of girls who post stuff with their nephew or niece. You know what I mean? Like they just like to be around their niece and nephew.
Yeah,
I think
like
in a way they.
I think he's right. Like
Really?
That's a signal. That's
Really?
a signal.
I think
Why are
he's
they trying to push
right.
a signal? Not that you can't display something you're proud of or something you like or enjoy.
Yeah.
So we're talking about this is an excess. This is just in the beyond. It's like, yeah, why is there always a fucking kid in your story? Like, you know what I mean? This is in excess.
Huh.
But that's the best example I have is if you're on a date and all this person can talk about is how great they are and how much they've learned in life.
Yeah.
I went through my journey. I went through this dark period.
Attractive? So do you find that attractive, or is that an immediate turnoff that a person speaks to you about their ex?
Media turn
Yeah.
If they say how crazy they are and they have issues, I'm like, well, okay, there's always another side to the story.
On the first date? I have to know about him on the first date.
It's supposed to be about us on the first date, not about that dude or her. It's supposed to be about us. I don't want to hear about that shit. I'm not dating you. I'm not trying to get to know you.
Yeah.
I mean, unless the story is just so hyper relevant to what we're talking about, it's like, why would you bring him up? And they always bring him up and talk about how much they've learned since then. Like, yeah, I've learned so much. I've grown so much, and I've learned all this from my past relationships. I don't care how woke you are. You already won.
I feel like that ain't even woke.
I
I feel like when girls do that, they're still stuck on that individual.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's
Like
there.
I
It's
would
their,
never like my
empowerment movement.
ex. My exes, I put them in a fucking box and I tossed that bitch in the ocean. You never got to talk to me again.
Did she cut out again?
Get out of here.
No, I'm back. So I tossed that bitch in the ocean and never, you don't have to speak to me again. I will walk past you like I don't even know you. Like, let alone bring you up on a date with a potential guy that could be 10 times better than you.
Exactly.
And then girls are telling you that. Girls do that. The reason why girls do that and say, oh, bring up their ex to see, that's like a test to see if you're going to be like him. Or kind of like setting the boundaries of this is what I like and this is what I don't like, instead of being upfront. And that's what I was meaning when they were talking about like first dates and being authentic and genuine. Like they bring up that stuff it's a test to see, oh, is he going to be like this? And then they're watching your eyes and your movement, because women think we're Inspector Gadget and shit.
Yeah.
So they're watching everything, waiting for your tone to see if you're going to be like that guy.
But see, on the flip side of that is they always say what they don't want because from their ex, but they usually end up with the same type of dude because they usually do not learn from their mistakes. They think their growing period, this empowerment movement, I'm not saying every woman, but they think that just because they got over the pain, they cried, they ate ice cream, they worked out, they started posting pictures of themselves, that they've grown, through this experience, and they're a different person. You're not a different person. That's not how you grow.
They posted hella quotes and shit.
That's not how you become somebody. You know what I'm saying? You just change your haircut. You know what I'm saying? Your hair color or some shit. And, you did some exercise, and now you think you're a new person.
It's crazy.
And 6 months down the line, after dating like a string of dudes, they're going to end up with the same type of dude. It's always the same shit.
That's crazy.
It's also a great time to talk about white knights. So she brought up, she's bringing up this ex, on the first date, right?
And
We all agreed, she's talking about stuff that she hated about her ex. A white knight in this moment, a man who's virtuous in this moment would go,
what's a white knight? Explain.
It's a virtue signal who's a guy. It's just a male virtue signal.
Okay.
It's like virtue
The
signal.
white knight, your knight.
He's gonna come save you. He's Captain Save-A-Ho. He's Captain Save-A-Ho. He's gonna come save you.
Go ahead,
I'm
finish
not
the
gonna
story. What would a white knight do? What would a white knight do?
Okay, so you're on the date, and a girl talking about her boyfriend. A white knight would look you right in the face and go, I would never do that to you. I hate when guys do that. Like, you a whole lie. Why are you lying to her on the first date? Right? So, I'm part of a dating group chat, a massive dating group, right? And there was a post on it a while back, and the post said, let's talk about fuckboys. Are they good? Are they bad? Are they here for a good time? And what blew my mind wasn't that all women were like, oh, fuckboys are evil, they're the worst, yada, yada, yada. We knew that, yeah. That's why they call fuckboys. It's not a very endearing term at all. But all the men who were in there who were like, if any guy said something that didn't align with what the girl said, they just jumped on him like a pack of wolves. Like, if any guy was like, someone said something was like, okay, but, we can talk about this if y'all want to talk about thoughts. If y'all can't sit here and I can just talk about thoughts, so we can't have this conversation. And everybody just jumped on this dude. All these dudes were in the comment section like, oh, it's not the same thing. You don't understand. Or, oh, someone's a little bitter. And it was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. It was like, one, that was not a conversation for men to be in.
No.
That had nothing to do with that.
Sounded like it, though. Didn't.
The question literally said, fuckboys, are they good or are they bad? Fuckboys, they're probably bad. Like, men didn't have to say anything.
Who would say that fuckboy is good? Like, who would say that?
Why was that even a question? Like, was that? I would have been like, is that rhetorical?
It was just a jab at men. Someone was bitter and wanted to just jab at men in that moment.
But you know what's fucked up?
Because
the fucked up part about it, someone responded back, said like, "Oh yeah, let's talk about thoughts." Well, why? Well, why should we talk about that? That's sexist. Like, oh, okay.
And all the guys were like,
if we're being honest, like, fuckboys were created. I mean, women created fuckboys. They allowed that shit to happen.
I think a prime example who turned a good guy that turned.
Just stop fucking those type of dudes. And have that
but it's crazy because like the perfect example, the person who turned nice just turned into like fuck it. It's Tupac. That dude was nice as fuck. He was like sitting girl poetry. He's like, man, them girls don't like that shit. And he just changed up quickly. He just like went. You know what I mean?
I mean, most guys found out the wrong way, man. Most of them found the wrong way. I did in high school, too. I thought being a nice dude and being a listening ear and listening to her talk about her stupid-ass boyfriend was going to get me in there, but never did. And then I found out that, like, if I just don't give a fuck, it's just like, it just comes easy. It's just like, you do the opposite of what they say they want, which sounds crazy, you get in there. It's
the same with guys.
So I got a comment here.
The same with guys. If you treat a guy like shit, like a girl could give a guy the world, be good to him. The moment she starts pulling away, ain't infatuated with his ass, then he comes running. Okay. But we need to stop that culture of I have to act like I don't want you for you to want me.
It's always going to be like that. Like if you do,
let her go off. That's exactly how I feel.
I agree because like if you do too much, right?
Like I hate that.
It's like, oh, you're doing too much.
Everybody's doing it now. Everybody, you got
everyone.
They have like situations where like videos where they show you how many times you got to text a girl, how long you have to text a girl, how many lines. If she does 2 lines, you got to do 2 lines, or she doesn't do this or that. And it's like, man, fuck that. Just be yourself. If she starts thinking you're
don't say it.
One of those type of dudes, and thanks, boss. A low beta, then fuck her. You know what I'm saying? Just be yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna work out in the end. Be yourself. Just basically, like if you got some shit to say, as long as you don't, it's not boring. If it's interesting, then she's gonna listen. If it's not interesting, she's not gonna listen.
Facts.
That's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? If you're an interesting dude, she's gonna be interested. If you're fucking boring, then yeah, you might have to watch all these videos and shit to learn how to have game. But interesting dudes, that's our game. Just be confident in what you can do, who you are as a person, and lead with that shit.
So
all you gotta do.
So Gabriel said, They say a guy who meets enough thoughts turn a dude into a fuckboy, and enough fuckboys turn her into a thought. Is that what he means? Meets enough thoughts.
What? Read that again.
They say a guy who meets enough thoughts turns a dude.
Don't read it to yourself. Read it to us.
Okay.
I'll try not to
You
laugh.
just teacher your ass, nigga.
I mean, I'm just reading what the comment says. I can't read.
It's on Facebook or it's on the Instagram?
It's on Facebook.
Shit, hold on, I'm trying.
But it's crazy because like I'm glad you brought that up because like that's exactly what I'm feeling like this whole week like about like oh he's doing too much or he's not doing enough and it's just like when the fuck is it? What is the balance?
Where's the line? Yeah. The line is blurred.
I was like, when is too much and when is too little? Because the girl's like, well, I kind of like a dude that kind of wants to not give up and keep pursuing me, but I don't want him doing too much. Like, wait,
So
what?
I think a lot of it too, it's kind of like small talk. So I was reading this book. I always mention Mode 1 by Alan Roger Curry, but he had a book in between his first really successful book and his third one. The middle one was okay. It was called Upfront and Straightforward, right? And in Upfront and Straightforward, he really talks about small talk. If you're a man, just don't do it. Just don't do it. It's no secret. Women like attention. Not a secret. Men like it, but not nearly to the extent of women, right? Nothing wrong with that. Like attention. Women need so much.
I think men
more
like a
external
different
validation.
kind of attention. They like it just as much, but different.
We don't
And
always
do
do
something.
something. Like we're not like
When
solar
you do
panels
something,
sucking up
we're-
sunlight like women are with attention. We just don't need that kind of validation all the time. We just don't. Majority of women do. I'm just gonna say it. Majority of women need at least 10 times as much validation externally as a man does. It's okay. It's not it's a big deal, but that's just the truth. And the problem is, men, you just over-validate too much when you give her too much small talk. If you're trying to have these little conversations that aren't about meeting up, defining the relationship, honestly, yeah, it's not about those two things. It's like, don't text her, dude. Just let her be. Don't over-validate her. And then also, give her some work to do. Like, give her some work to do. Let her miss you. Let her text you. Let her call you. You set the expectation early of, I'm going to text you once a day, every single day. She's never going to text you first.
See, why do we gotta play that though? We have to do that just for that shit.
That's a game because
Yeah.
most guys do that. Guys do that already. Like, oh, let her text me. Let her do this. Me is like this. Be authentic. If you want to talk to me, text me. If you want to see me, come see me. If you're digging me, you're digging me. Go all out because I think people put friction in something where friction should not be. And then you kill something that could have been good.
Well, what I think he's talking about is how it is today, because that's what girls are expecting today. Because that's all they see. That's what they're expecting.
That is true.
You know, none of us really have to worry about that because we're all interested. We don't have to really, you know, I have to calculate how much text her and what to say and shit like that. We're just interesting, period. So I mean, I can have a full-on conversation on text if I need to, and it'll still pull her in without her like saying he's being too extra. Because being too extra is just being all over a person. Like, you can still have a conversation through a text, I believe, without being all over a person or waterboarding them with, you know, affection or intention and shit like that. You know, I am king of teasing a girl. I love teasing the shit out of a girl. I'll even go to a point to almost make her really mad at me because I don't give a fuck if she leaves or not. I don't give a fuck. And I think she feels that, so she doesn't leave. And it's like it in this book right here, it's kind of proving that point. It's kind of proving that fucking point. It's fucking hilarious.
No
Yeah,
more
it's
Mr.
hilarious.
Nice Guy.
And it is. It's like being too nice, like being nice all the time just is not in your favor, man. Especially nowadays. It's just not.
Yeah.
You don't have to be
It's
honest
not.
or black.
The thing I think that girls don't appreciate about the nice guy is that the nice guy will let you walk all over him.
Yeah,
And
he's
that
not really nice. He's
It's
just
very unattractive. But that nice guy is generally just a really nice guy. Like, he's just really nice. He wants to treat you nice. He wants to treat you good. But he can never tell you no. He can never tame the woman. Like, a woman naturally wants to be submissive. But it's almost like you can't submit to that nice guy. Like, that woman wants that higher evolutionary being.
She wants the masculine.
Yes, she wants the
How do you
masculine.
tame a woman?
Huh?
How do you tame a woman?
Dragon.
How do you tame her? I can tell you
How
how, I
do
can tell you
you-
how we're supposed to do it. I can tell you, like, she wants to be submissive. Let's say you're dating somebody who's not a normally submissive person. They're kind of in that middle where they'll take charge or they'll listen if they respect you, right? How do you tame that person, quote unquote? How do you get them to kind of submit to you?
I would say this. Don't shop over your budget. Don't date someone out of your league.
Damn.
Okay, well, I would say it's a little bit different than that. And I would say you kind of have to play the game. You got to play to win. Right? Like, if you want to...
But that even goes. So if you got a $5 budget, but you got $100, you know, but you got a $5 budget with $100 taste, it's not gonna match. You can't date. Don't date a girl. Like I said, don't date a girl outside of your budget.
Okay.
Don't. You know, that's what those guys try to do. They try to tame something that they can never even have the ability to tame. It's like you need a domestic cat, but you're trying to go after a tiger.
Do you... Okay, so I'm sure you have some friends who are incredibly attractive.
Yes, I
And
do.
you've seen them get played by some $5 budget dudes. So you can't
All
tell me
the
that.
time.
Like, you see them get played by some dirtbag dudes. You're just like, how did you let this happen? You are
Well, there's
so
a lot of-
this guy's big. Because
I mean,
I hate
there's a
saying
lot
this,
of
but
magicians
don't
out
exist
there,
for
bro. There's a lot of magicians out there, man. They can get it.
Yeah. Well, that's because, I mean, I get the whole league
Because
metaphor, but
that's
just
at the
general,
beginning.
leagues don't exist for men.
Those guys have learned to play the game of being something that they're not in the beginning. That's why I say you have to find that authenticity on that first night. I'm a firm believer. I don't believe in first impressions because people are never going to be themselves it's very rare that a person's going to be themselves when they first meet. Very rare, very rarity. We all may be that way because we're comfortable, but I mean, that's in that one percentile.
I think
Because
it's
people get more
definitely a lot
comfortable,
nicer
but
first
I
date,
don't
for sure.
believe in first impressions. Period.
You know, I'm going to pedal back to the $5 dude trying to get like a $20 chick.
Yes.
I got to disagree. I believe it depends on the man. Like, I think if he is man enough, I'm not going to say the word, but if he is man enough and he's top of his game, no matter what's in his pocket, he can pull any chick. Because if she's a
Therefore,
real woman, no matter if it's a tiger or a cat, if she's a real woman, she don't care about money. She cares about who he is as a person. So he can have $5, but you know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter.
No, I'm not talking about money, monetary, like specific.
Neither am I. I'm using it as a metaphor too. I'm just saying.
Right. But if he is that man that you're talking about, he's not hitting out of his league.
Well, let's go off this though. Okay, so I've known some homies who are physically not there. Physically not there,
But
right?
everywhere else, they are there. Because I've seen some ugly ass dude or some ugly ass chicks pull the best of the best. So it's not about looks. It's not about that. It's about, when I say like mentally, like you're mentally, because if you want a woman to submit, that's all mental.
Okay, so you're saying overall, the person overall, if he's a $5 quote, metaphorically speaking, he
Well, I guess
shouldn't
what you're saying is like,
$50.
He's a jalopy looking for a Cadillac.
Gotcha.
you're saying is like, if you can pull that chick, she's not out your budget. That's what you're saying.
That too.
So
That too.
if you can pull that chick, then obviously she's not. So whether we might think you're a $5 guy, if you pull a $20 chick, you're not a $5 guy. That's it.
And you
That's
can't base some of those things off looks.
right.
Like what
Yeah,
Andre
yeah,
was
I
saying,
mean, it
you
just goes back
can't.
to the
That's
eyes
looks are not a factor.
On the flip side, if we all collectively agree some guy's a $5 guy, and he gets a quote unquote $20 chick, she's probably not a $20 chick.
True
She's probably a
that.
$5 chick
Precisely.
dressed like a $20 chick.
Precisely.
Okay. All right.
Precisely.
I got you. I feel that.
Took me a minute, but I understand now.
Okay.
Yeah, just don't play out of your league. Like, don't go for those girls. That's who you're gonna tame. Like, for a guy to tame me, he's got to be one hell of a guy because I'm coming with it.
Yeah.
You can't play with my mind. I make my own money. What do you have to offer me? The only thing you can do is stimulate my mind.
Okay. I got a comment here. Someone said, "You ain't lying." To you. I've dated men who were 6'5", fit and fine, but have the worst personality. So.
Yeah. Probably don't have to try too hard. Probably don't have to try too hard.
Yeah, she pulling them. Okay, I mean, we kind of, I don't know if we're still on topic, I think, even though we're winging this. We're doing a pretty damn good job winging this shit.
Yeah, we actually never briefed this time. I think what really gets me... Sorry?
I said impromptu.
I think the thing that gets me the most about just virtue signaling is just... What's so funny is, I think it's one of the more dishonest ways to get somebody, but it's normally like the least harmful to the person who has to deal with the virtue signaler. Virtue signaling, as dishonest as it is most detrimental to the person actually doing it. Because I'll tell you right now, women do not sleep with men who virtue signal. That's how you become, oh, you're like a brother to me. Overnight. Like overnight. When you overly sympathize, I'm sure that when you overly sympathize with the woman consistently and frequently, her subconscious is going to tell her, like, you don't have a mind of your own. Like, you don't have a backbone. Especially you don't have a backbone.
Like, oh, yeah, that's fine.
So
that's okay. Yeah,
that's
okay.
Other shit. Yeah, she's like, all men are fuckboys. There we go. Boom. All men are fuckboys.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Virtue signalers can be like, yeah, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm not like other guys, but like, yeah, a lot of guys are shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's his answer.
I'm different.
Got a guy who's, I almost said it. A guy who's self-assured. He's gonna be all like, you gotta fuck a boy to know if you're a fuck boy. That's what he's gonna tell you. He's gonna just come back with it. He's gonna be like, well, how you know you fucked them all? Like, you know?
Call on our bluff every time. Right. Like nowadays, women are pulling out more shit tests than ever before. Like, it's like
aren't men anymore. I don't blame them for it. Men aren't men anymore.
Man, so you just gotta constantly be like, I don't get like that. There's the door. Shit. You know, I got a fishing rod right next to me. Keep going.
Exactly. So when a girl texts me, it's like, I'm not even mad because I'm sure you got like 20 other dudes saying the same shit to you. You just gotta know for sure. It's okay. I feel you. It's routine. It's just par for the course. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I think it depends on really what you're looking for at that moment.
Yeah.
There are some girls out there that do want a chump. Like a guy that
I'm right here. Where they at?
All over.
You a chump?
Tell them what to do, and all of that. Like me, I'm the opposite. I have a very, very, very strong personality, and
no,
I can't tell at all. No way. No way.
And like a guy, you know, you have to be able to like
that. I would never say that about you. You are very calm and sweet. I would never say that.
Yeah, you don't.
I am
told
sweet.
you that man is a jerk.
I'm
always thinking just basic. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm your ally.
Very sweet. very
I'm your ally.
I'm very sweet, but I have a strong personality, and in every aspect, like all of my emotions are strong in every single way. So I would want to meet that guy that could intellectually, not necessarily like intellectually match me, but how can you add value to my intellect? I don't want to sit here and continue to teach you, because that's when it gets into the sense of, I feel like I have to raise you. Raise you to my level, not necessarily raise you like I'm your mother, but I have to raise you up to my level. And
your
it's all,
standards need to be like a CEO or professor and above type shit.
Right.
CEO and professor, like two different things.
Well, you know, an intellect, mind.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like philosopher type dude. Okay.
And then with those guys that virtue signal, those guys that, oh, I'm not like other guys. I don't do that. I don't do
Guys are
this.
such
Usually
meanies.
aren't that bright.
You're not special, bro. You're not a unicorn. She's never gonna think you're a unicorn, ever.
You wouldn't
But there
be
are
on
some
a date
girls-
if you was. You already be, with a harem of chicks if you were that damn interesting.
All
Yeah.
I say is, if you're a guy who virtue signals, and you actually ended up like getting a girl, she just hopped off the carousel.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
she just hopped off the carousel.
Well, and they
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and the things you got to do for that situation for me, like they say that, oh fuck boys, I'm like, well here's the thing. I'm not gonna say like I can't speak for every man, but like there's certain things you got to look into, like, you know what I mean. So I don't go like trying to be an ally on that sense, but sometimes girls get turned off like, oh, so you're one of them? Oh, you're one of those guys? So it's just like, in a way, you have to kind of let them know like, yo, I'm not that, like, what's up?
I just do the agree and amplify. That's just my go-to. Every time I get a shit test
Yeah.
like that, I just agree and amplify. So
Yeah.
if girls
So
like,
I'm not different. Like,
oh,
I'm like all the other guys.
After girls, I just go hundreds.
I'm like all the other guys. What up? What's good?
That's just why it's like, yeah,
Don't take it seriously and just clown, nonchalant.
Yes, I'm like every other dude that you
agree and
dated.
amplify.
Every other dude you dated, I'm them.
She's like, how long was your last relationship? You go, what's
Same
that?
dude.
It's like,
Same body. One mind.
She's like, oh, you're a fuckboy. It's like, oh,
'Cause,
no
you know,
car salesman anymore.
In a way, it's just like there's always
I'm a
another
fuck
side of
man.
the story. So you
Yeah,
got,
exactly. We're not boys anymore.
I'm a fuck man.
We're turds. We're fuck men. We'll fuck you, bring you into our house, and then leave you. That's
So,
how we do it now.
you got a question.
You know.
Someone asked
What's
a
up?
question. I think it's for you, Jatana. She asked. Someone asked a question. She said, "Are you single or have you found Mr. Right?" That's what
Ooh, I plead the fifth.
So yeah,
They
so
try
yeah,
to be personal.
man, they get real personal. It's a woman. It's not a guy. It's a woman.
Everybody wondering, it's me. Just put it out there. It's me. Sorry, I know. She likes him really young with crumbles.
Plot twist. Every
She said she doesn't want to raise a guy, but that's exactly what she's doing.
He's virtue signaling this whole time.
redirection, distraction.
I don't even know how I would answer that question without.
It's complicated. Say
Okay.
that it's complicated.
I
Just
would
do what
say-
just say what I say. I'm sorry. I move in silent and live in private.
What he said.
What? No, you gotta say it your own way. You can't have them say it.
You gotta agree and amplify. You
Yeah,
gotta say, I got
come
too many
on.
men, I don't know what to do.
Come on. What you?
You gotta say, I got so many men, I don't know what to do.
They all trying to get up in this. Okay. All right.
That's
So he's
it.
the president, so I can't talk about it. He used to be the president, you know. Like, just,
Confidential information.
Okay. All right. We
be
can.
like, oh, I signed an NDA, I can't.
If I tell you, I gotta kill you. I'm sorry.
Well, I can't see her or who she is, but if she has another question, I'll answer it.
She might. She's thinking of something.
Be like, if he has a name, what is it?
Stupid.
Right? If he has a race, what is it?
Stupid.
But if we're talking about like Mr. Right, like if Mr. Right is out there, a Mr. Right would be, because I definitely, like, I am one of those people, like, I'm a hopeless romantic. I do believe that we have our one true love,
Okay.
and they're out there, our twin flame. We have our one. Whether or not we get to meet those people in our lifetime, that's another question. But I also do believe that
Sometimes you don't.
do not rush. And if you do meet people, it's almost like some people like judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
And this was what I was going to say to what we were just talking about, is that people judge people or guys, or if a girl is in a relationship, no matter who, the opposite sex, like you judge that person upon meeting them based upon your own understanding or your own experiences, instead of giving them that opportunity to be themselves. Like, instead, like, they could be funny. They could be like a funny guy, but maybe you were made fun of or you were bullied, so you're triggered by that and you don't get their humor.
Word.
So I don't want to be a comedian. Yeah.
But you know, yeah, I think a lot of people base off a lot of things on their own understanding. I had mentioned this earlier, and I think that a lot of people trauma bond. They bond through trauma, or they bond through the things that they've been gone to. Like, oh my gosh, oh, you were bullied in school? I was bullied in school too. Like, fuck that. I don't that ain't something we need to have in common.
Somebody asked a question.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say somebody had a question. We can go ahead.
Just real quick. Or with the trauma bonding thing, which I see more often, there's nothing wrong like with bonding with somebody because you had a shared trauma in your childhood. The problem is they use each other as a crutch and nobody actually wants to fix that problem. You were bullied, I was bullied, and because we both understand each other, we're just not going to work towards getting over getting bullied. We're going to just, when you're having a bad bully day, I'm just going to commiserate with you, and that's it.
Well in it.
And we're going to destroy everyone who reminds us of that bully.
Yeah, just dwelling in it.
So you're going to be a hero then, like a superhero.
What was that question?
All right, so the question was, do you believe in different love in different lifetimes? Different loves.
Different loves and different lifetimes.
Yeah.
Like reincarnation?
Yeah. Like in a different life. Different, different body. Same.
I believe in different parallel universes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I believe you only get one shot at this life. But I do believe that there are parallel universes. That's why you can attract people that you think about. That's where manifestation comes from. Because all of the things that you manifest are living in a parallel universe. Yeah. Whether or not you want it to come, you can get everything you want. You can bring that reality over to you. We also have the ability to control time.
Yeah. That's
where people are like, oh my gosh, deja vu. You're just living in a parallel universe. So I do believe that we do have our lovers in those universes, but maybe we haven't done everything that we're supposed to do in this parallel to get to the next. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I asked, that was a weird question. Like, is that person all right? Like, that question makes me think that the relationship they in is like either so bad that they wish that they were in a different lifetime or a different love. Like, are they locked into a relationship, or what I'm saying? I don't want to be caught out of this.
I'm not
Maybe
too
they
sure.
should elaborate on what you were saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't have much time anyway. We got like a few minutes left.
But yeah, it just seemed like it was weird.
Yeah. So I mean, time's almost up on our live stream anyway. So, but I'll message her and kind of ask that. But yeah, if she gives, I'll let you guys know if she tells you anything differently. But. No one else has any other questions. I'm not sure if you guys have anything else you want to add on there, but we're going to end this. Appreciate you guys coming up.
I think white knights are worse when they're in relationships. They get worked.
I mean, we already had a topic about white knights. Bad. You and I already had one already.
So if we want to end on something, the negative thing about putting on a facade of being a white knight, or I'm not like that girl, is you can only fake it till you make it, but you can only fake it so long. So you get into a relationship and you are going against yourself every single time because you're in a play. You're putting on this role. And eventually it's going to fold and it's going to cause tension because your partner is eventually going to feel that energy and catch on to you aren't really like that because who you are always shows.
Okay. All right. Well, we end on that note. You gonna add more? A couple seconds left.
One little thing, dog. All
right, man.
Because I think the problem, especially with white knights, is they don't get the girl. Being a white knight, being Mr. Nice Guy, you don't end up with the girl. And when you're a woman and you over virtue signaling, you're actually overselling yourself, and you can't keep up with that. You can never keep a man. That's literally how you can tell. So if you're in a relationship, and every first, second, third date you've ever had, you're always talking about how great you are, and the relationship always fizzles out and don't work. Is because you couldn't fake it long enough.
Hey, what about old dudes?
Oh, God damn it. All right, we're done.
I know a guy who is like that, who's a white knight, is in a relationship.
God damn it.
That's what I'm saying.
How much longer, though?
No.
For how much longer, though?
Yeah, true. I'm just saying he got into a relationship. He did get it. And he got worse. So I don't know how.
Worse? How? Like, what do you mean worse?
God damn it! All right, guys, we have like a couple seconds left. It's gonna end. The live stream's gonna end. All right.
Okay.
Appreciate you guys coming on, though. We'll continue on the next episode on like the recap if we remember on the next week, whatever. But thank you guys for coming on. Enjoy you guys.
So no post, right?
Nah, I'm not gonna do a post. It's not too many of us. Yeah. We'll do it next time. But all right, guys. Thank you again for tuning
Appreciate
in.
it. Peace.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Take it easy. Hello, friends. This is Dante from the Wide A Podcast. Thank you for tuning in onto our episode. And just wanted to give you guys some updates. I know I usually do this at the end of my episodes. I'm doing a little update. So we do still have Patreon website. I've been putting exclusive content on there. I haven't put any dating coaches or advice or anything like that yet. I'm still working on that. But if you still want to donate to the Patreon, it's still on there on the Wide A Podcast website. But for right now, all I'm doing right now is Venmo. I'll put the link onto this episode on YouTube episode. Hope you guys, like I said, like the episode. But I'm putting everything on there. Currently, I am still working on advice, dating coach. I want to have a community where we're having someone giving advice, having some experts on there that's helping people through dating. So I know we typically talk about a lot of funny stuff on our episodes, but I also want to provide some kind of service to everyone who's listening. So get their money's worth for something. It's $5. It's definitely not going to raise the price because I haven't done much with my Patreon. But I still have a Venmo on there. It's going to be on there. But I will put the link down here. You can kind of see it. And just so you guys know, I appreciate you guys joining in and tuning into our episode thus far, listening to all our stuff. But yeah, that is it for it, guys. I will post more things on my Patreon. Like I said, I'll still put the exclusive content, the post episode on there, the audio form. I can't really put the video on there. For some strange reason, Patreon won't let me do it. It's too big of a file. But that's what I want to have on there, guys. And that is it. That's all I have to say. But please subscribe, too, as well, on the YouTube channel if you guys haven't done so already. But that is it, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in and enjoy the rest of your day.